Test 1, 2, check, check, 1, 2. All right, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the monthly meeting of the City of Des Moines Zoning Board of Adjustment. This board has the power under Iowa law and the zoning ordinance of the City of Des Moines to hear and make decisions on requests for variances and exceptions from the regulations in the zoning ordinance, to review conditional use requests, and to consider any appeals from any decision of city staff in their administration of the zoning ordinance. The members of this board are citizens of the City of Des Moines. They have been appointed to this board by the City Council. The board members are volunteers and they receive no compensation for their public service. I will take a moment to introduce our board members. On the audience's left is Heather Ann Rowe. Next to her is Julian Neely. Next to him is Marlis Jones. On the audience's right is Tom DeCio, and then Dave Gare. My name is Mel Pins, the board chair. We're just missing one of our members today for a special occasion, so we got 6 of 7 of us here. I will introduce the city staff who will be assisting us today. To my left is the Zoning Board of Adjustment's legal counsel, Gary Guidelock. City staff that will be assisting and presenting today. On the audience's left, Frank Dunn Young, senior city planner, Bert Dross, deputy planning administrator, Catherine Drehas, city planner, and Chris Heilskov, zoning enforcement officer. Our meeting moderator, assisting with recording and all the magic behind the scenes, is Michelle Wall, right down here in front of me. I'm going to give a brief overview of our meeting's procedure. For most of you, this may be the first time you're in front of us. You may hope it's the only time, but we'll lead you through this. First of all, the Zoning Board of Adjustment is a quasi-judicial board. We'll conduct the hearing within the procedures and format as authorized by Iowa law and the city's ordinances. This meeting is open to the public. The meeting is being recorded by both audio and video for a legal record of the proceedings. The board members have received a copy of the agenda and the staff recommendations. The board is required to base its decision on each item upon the criteria established by law for the type of relief sought by the applicant. The law applicable to each case has been identified in the written staff report. If the facts, as determined by this board, demonstrates the criteria established by law for granting the relief has been satisfied, then the board must grant the relief. Otherwise, the board must deny the requested relief. Each item will be announced in the order that it appears on the agenda. Items listed on the consent portion of the agenda, which is our first section of the agenda, are not planned to be individually discussed. Rather, they will be considered for approval in accordance with the recommendations in the staff report, unless the appellant does not agree to the conditions that have been recommended by staff, or if there would be an individual in the audience or a member of this board that requests that the item be removed from the consent agenda so that a full discussion on the matter can occur before a decision is made. Now, I'll come back to that consent agenda in just a minute because I believe everything is on the consent agenda today. So if we would, I'm going to skip ahead here a little bit. If we would approve your appeal, we would ask that you wait until at least about a week from today's hearing if you would need to contact the city's Permit and Development Center to obtain any necessary building or sign permits that would be related to your appeal. This will allow the decision of the board to be documented in the form of a decision and order. That document will be provided to you and city staff for the record. Any appeal that is approved by this board must be implemented, constructed, or otherwise utilized within 2 years of the date of the board's decision, or such approval shall expire. The decisions of this board can only be appealed in the Iowa District Court. If we're approving it, you're probably going to be happy. But if anybody believes they've been harmed by an error made by this board, your only remedy is to seek relief through the court within 30 days of the filing of the board's decision and order. If you believe the zoning regulations applied by the board are wrong, you may petition the city council to change those regulations for future considerations. All material written or otherwise used today as part of any presentation is part of the permanent record. If there's anything you want to present today, I don't know that we'll be doing that, but if anybody wants to, you'll need to give copies of anything you are presenting to city staff for the record. And if anybody'd like a copy of anything presented, city staff will get them an appropriate copy. So I think what I'm going to do here, again, I'm just going to do a quick poll of the audience here. We have 2 items on our agenda, which is a pretty short agenda for us. Staff is recommending approval of these items subject to staff conditions. So they're on what we call, again, the consent agenda, meaning staff is recommending approval by this board. So I'm first and foremost going to poll the audience. Item 1 is a conditional use request by Des Moines Metro WRA at 3000 Vandalia Road related to construction of some wastewater processing facilities. Would there be anybody in the audience opposed to the board granting this conditional use? If so, just raise your hand. Seeing none, item 2 is a zoning exception request at 2220 East 17th Street related to installation of some signage and some appeals on number of signs. And is there anybody in the audience here that would be opposed to this board granting some exceptions on the signage amounts? Just raise your hand. Okay, seeing none. Board members, anybody here that would be opposed to this board granting items 1 and 2 without discussion? Seeing none. So we have 2 items on consent. Would there be a motion to approve these items? Motion by Marlis. Second by Julian. All those in favor, raise your right hand, say aye. All right, so that motion carries 6-0. So if you were here for items 1 and 2, they've been approved. Give us about a week to get that in a decision and order document, and then if you need to apply for building permits or signage, it's all signed, sealed, delivered for you. So thank you for taking the time to come out today, and we wish you well with your projects. Okay, so that takes care of the actual agenda. Is there any new business? Seeing none, we have minutes from the last meeting. For those that were here at the last meeting, did anybody note any changes? If so, say. If there's no changes, would there be a motion to approve the minutes? Motion by Heather. Second by Marlis. All those in favor, raise your right hand, say aye. That's 5 of us. Julian wasn't present last month. All right, so minutes have been approved. I think that's it. So this hearing is adjourned.